Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Brian over here at the Little Orchard Farm. This weekend's main goal is to get one significant thing done in the barn. Let's talk about it. Well, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful week. Geared up for the weekend. Man, I know we are. We're excited about it. And one of the things that we're going to be working on is in the barn. We're going to clear the barn out. We've got a lot of things we've just kind of stored in there as we continue to put the board and batten siding on the barn. And one of the things that we really need to get done sooner than later is to get some concrete sealer down. So I thought I'd take you along for that. There's two different types of applications that we're going to be doing today. One of them is a high gloss, deep penetration sealer that will waterproof and hopefully penetrate deep enough to help start protecting against cracking and things of that nature. And then the second one is more of a color epoxy type flooring that will be on the wood shop side that will add a little bit of character to the concrete. Let me show you first what I've been kind of nursing for the last several weeks, and that is my hydrangeas. If you recall, I took some hydrangea cuttings, and man, they're all looking really great. I got one curling up, I think lack of water here. I have one that's decided that it's gonna bow out, I think. But overall, got another one back there. So let's say two of them. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So out of the 12 that I have planted with the cuttings, I've got 10 successes. That's not a bad it's not a bad little success rate. So I think I'm going to end up cutting some additional ones, planting some more, maybe another dozen of them, and see if I can't raise them up. Ooh, I hear Karen pulling up. I'll talk to you in a little bit. Step 1, the sealing the concrete floor in the barn. Remove all the things out of the barn and spray it down real good to clean out all the residue, all the dirt and dust. Sitting here fretting over the fact that there's a lot of dust buildup and a lot of small debris buildup on the concrete, and trying to knock it out with this. And Karen said, why don't you use the pressure sprayer? Good idea. All right, so Karen is finishing up the very last little bit of that back corner, and then we're going to set a fan in here and try to blow this dry for a couple of hours. But in the meantime, I think Karen and I, we're going to run up to one of the local farmers markets, and we got to grab us ourselves a little bit of beef. One of the local farmers here, cattle farmers, offers incredible quality, high quality Angus beef. So we're going to go up there. We'll take you along for the ride. All right, so we're here at Reeves, a little peach barn right by the side of the road here, and just outside of one of the little towns close to our farm. And we'll take you in and show you a few little images. But we're looking for meat. But you said you've already peeked over into the meat counter, and because he's not here, the meat's on the guy who normally does it sells here, but when he's not here, the meat is almost double. That's not good.
Because we got 4 ribeyes for $40, and they're $20 a piece in there now.
Ooh. All right, so we've returned from our little farmer's market outing. Picked up a can of pickled garlic. Gonna try that. Picked up some fried pies. Want to try some of those. And Karen grabbed the watermelon for us for this evening as we have some family time with extended family to kind of relax and enjoy all of God's blessings. All right, so the application that we're going to be putting on the shop floor is a water-based 2-part epoxy that is tan in color, a tan gloss. Let's see if I can. So a tan gloss in color with some pixie sprinkles. I like the tan because you can hide a lot of sawdust on it and it not look really bad. We're going to begin marking off a 10-foot by 10-foot area and just kind of applying our etching. Let's get to etching. Whew! Are we hot yet?
I want my glass slippers.
You want your glass slippers, Cinderella? So we got on all fours. We etched the whole floor. We then took a water hose and simply rinsed the surface. Took a squeegee and then squeegee to ensure that we don't have any standing puddles or anything like that. We've got one little streak right here. I'll come back and kind of spread that out a little bit. But now we're supposed to wait 24 hours. We allow this to dry. I was looking at the sealer because I thought, well, while this side was doing its thing, we could jump over on this side and begin the actual sealer part. But there's one little small fine print sentence on the instructions that says, if you pressure wash it, wait 24 hours. We pressure washed it this morning. We got to wait till tomorrow. So, with all that being said, we'll let this continue to dry tonight, and we'll jump on this tomorrow morning, perhaps early, while the temperature is still low. They recommend doing it in the evening as the temperature drops, which we could do as well. if we do that, then we definitely will be able to jump on this side and begin it early. So anyway, we'll flip a coin. I got to kind of continue to make sure I read the instructions thoroughly to ensure that there's not anything else that I'm missing. But it made sense. They said if you pressure wash, obviously the water gets down under the surface, and although it appears to be dry on the top, there's water underneath. You want to let that water get completely evaporated or dried, so that when you put the sealer on there, it doesn't trap that water in the concrete. Because remember, we have plastic under the concrete, so if water is in between the sealer and the concrete, or between the sealer and the plastic under the concrete, it traps that water in there, and over time it will certainly deteriorate the concrete. So we want to let that dry and do the right thing by that. Just as we did with the etching. Some people don't etch when they apply a paint material or an epoxy to a concrete, and that will absolutely cause chipping. So you're always best to etch your concrete before, so it will rough it up and create what they call a tooth for that paint to latch onto and stick to. You'll get years and years more use or more durability if you etch. So we've done etched. Our etching is complete. I'm going to take Karen back over to the deer field. She was doing a little mowing before I so abruptly interrupted her to come help me etch. But we'll pick back up in the morning, and I think we'll probably end up doing our epoxy first, and then later on that tomorrow evening we'll show you as we put down our first coat of sealer. Sealant, by the way, quick note, the sealer comes in 2 coats, or you apply 2 coats, one 24 hours after the other. So we'll apply that first coat tomorrow, and then 24 hours later, we'll get that second coat down. You ready to go mow? All right, so we've mixed our epoxy. It has set for, time check?
24 minutes.
24 minutes. It's got to set for 30 minutes, and then give or take. And then we will begin our brush in, our cut in on the brushes. And we're gonna brush that around the bases of our post. It doesn't have to be, we don't have to be real thick on that, but we just want to make sure that we get it covered to where when we put up whatever wall material, you won't be able to see the gray color. After we do that, then we are going to roll it, and Karen's going to do the sprinkling of the pixie dust, fairy dust. And our daughter actually came to visit. She just pulled in here just a few minutes ago. So here she comes now.
With a red Solo cup.
She was out partying, obviously a little too late last night. A red Solo cup still in hand.
Hey.
All right. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
All right. Thank you for bringing a red Solo cup. We're going to use this to dip our paint and then drink afterwards. All right. Yeah. Oh.
It's not this fabulous one. Well, I don't have any calamine lotion or anything here.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome floor. Very, very happy with it. Later on this evening, we're going to come back and we're going to put the first coat of the sealer, high gloss sealer on this portion of the barn. And yeah, starting to come together. Wow, what a difference. Man, it took me a little while to get this coat down, but it is spectacular. Man, it brings out all of the, it's a woodworker, I'd say all the wood grain. But in this case, it brings out all the concrete grain. Every little nuance. I mean, you can see where we patched a little bit right here. We've got some lighter areas that it picked up. There's and there was a another little spots over in there that just it looked like wood grain. I mean, it really looks phenomenal. So we're going to let this sit, and it'll dry to a low gloss, and we'll come back tomorrow evening and put in the final coat of this. And we will then be done with the barn floor. I'll show you a couple of finished photos once we get it all done and it's set up and got its final gloss glaze to it. Well, it's been a long weekend, and man, we knocked a lot out, not only with the barn but with some other items that we were trying to get done here on the farm. But the biggest was by far the floor. It was it wasn't a difficult task, but it was time consuming in the sense that you had to wait 24 hours in between setup times and dry times and so forth. And so that's what took so long. But I think it's going to be amazing, and it's going to add some durability to this barn floor that hopefully will make it last for decades. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and if you're not a subscriber to our channel, I encourage you to pop that button below. We're trying to top 400 here. Help us get there. In the meantime, you guys have a wonderful week, a very blessed week. Until we see you again the next time, we will. See ya.